security expert from UW-Madison on how much of a threat is this really? Is it potential threat that we should be afraid of, or is it stuff that's actually happening? So when we talk about national security, what really are we talking about when it comes to TikTok? Which I think I don't want it to go away. I'm very honest. I will bury the lead. I do not want TikTok to go away.
Yeah. Is the Chinese government really spying on us? And what do you have? Should you be concerned if they are spying on you?
Yeah, and I think
I've seen your videos. You should be concerned with China.
Brian.
China's
Brian.
coming.
But then we also, speaking of dying potatoes versus eggs, do you guys have strong feelings on Peeps?
I don't like to eat them, but I love what the Racine Art Museum does with them.
All right. So the Racine Art Museum, this is our 15th year doing a Peeps art exhibit. So it is using the material of Peeps to make art. And so we were going to be talking to a representative from the museum as far as what that looks like.
Yeah,
what are some of the award-winning art pieces that have come out of these gooey, smushy, colorful candies?
It is phenomenal to see.
It is. Some of them are masterpieces.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty incredible to see what people come up with. And then there's the People's Choice Awards. Yeah, it's legit. I actually have, from doing many stories just down in Racine throughout the years, I got from the Racine Art Museum, I have earrings that are Peeps.
Nice.
Peeps earrings.
They're still good?
Well, they're in the shape of Peeps. They're not legit Peeps.
They're not edible?
Oh, they're not made of, they weren't made of the fluff?
Marshmallow
No, I think
earrings?
they wanted them to last a lifetime.
Well, they would.
I
don't
you're
think
right.
Peeps
They might
break down.
They just get hard.
Right. I don't think they break down. They hold. They stand the test of time. Well, Span in the State is coming up right after the news. I'll catch you there. It's 1 o'clock on WTMJ.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests. Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 102, it's 44 degrees on our way to 51, partly cloudy, windy as well, mostly clear tonight, and 25. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. The jury in the Kim Zapata trial hearing from Milwaukee Election Commission Executive Director Claire Woodall-Vogt today. Zapata, a former Milwaukee elections official, accused of illegally requesting 3 absentee military ballots and having them sent to Menominee Falls State Representative Janelle Branchin. Woodall-Vogt described the moment Zapata admitted to her she was responsible.
She told me that she had requested those ballots.
What did she tell you about that?
She was frustrated that people like Representative Branchin continue to focus on what they consider election fraud issues that aren't real, and that this is a real potential security issue that she wanted to bring to her attention.
The defense claims Zapata requested the ballots in order to prove there were flaws in the system. We'll have complete continuing coverage of the Kim Zapata trial throughout the week on WTMJ. Protesting at the RNC could take some strategizing. Urban Milwaukee's Jeremy Janine tells WTMJ's Political Power Hour there could be two different types of protests at the convention this summer.
There'll be the secured free speech zone where you'll have a permitted process to be on the stage for a set time. I don't expect anything remotely resembling violence there. Then there is everything else that can possibly happen. I would suspect people should have major questions about what might happen outside of the security zone.
This as the Milwaukee Common Council unanimously today adopted an ordinance proposed by the Department of Public Works Monday on protest registration and regulations. Protesting inside the security zone requires signing up beforehand, but comes with a provided platform and a microphone for use. Gang violence ramping up again in Haiti as the international community continues work on a transitional presidential council.
At least a dozen are dead after gangs rampage through upscale neighborhoods in Port-au-Prince, causing the area near where documentary producer Mario Delatour lives
to be shut down completely.
Caribbean leaders are hopeful over attempts to get a transitional presidential council in place, though gangs and some activists don't support the idea. Some Americans have caught State Department chartered flights out of Haiti.
Good to be back here. I'm safe with family.
But they worry about those left behind. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Taking a look at the numbers this hour. Better than we were this morning. We are in the green for the majors. Right now, the Dow is up 234 points to 39,025, while the S&P 500 is up 20 to 5,169, and the Nasdaq up 45 points to 16,148. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button now. Sports, traffic, and weather coming up next. Siding Unlimited.
Traffic
WTMJ
is brought to you by
News Time
James
105.
Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Nelnet Incorporated has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Facilities Coordinator Sunday Heidemann, local and partner ring true for you. Why?
They become your friend. They are easy to work with. You get to know them on a personal level, and they're very outgoing.
James Imaging Systems, helping local businesses do business better.
Being a partner, we can collaborate with each other, and we can make the best needs and outcome for our company.
James Imaging Systems, better technology, great people.
Makes my job so much easier that I can contact the people that know the machines, and I know I'm going to be taken care of.
Sunday, anything to say about James Imaging Systems to others?
They're a great team to work with.
Document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Only 11% of those trying to sell their own homes actually succeed. And of those that do sell their own home, they sell on average for 26% less than agented properties. This often negates the savings they were hoping to get by doing it on their own. So why do it on your own when you have an experienced realtor that will give you full service at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission? Don't let your home sit while others are selling faster and at potentially better than asking prices. Call Benefit Realty for a highly experienced agent, and you'll pay less for full service. In this seller's market, even homeowners are trying to sell their own home. But more times than not, it doesn't work out like they'd hoped. And while homes like theirs are selling, and selling fast for over asking prices, their homes aren't. So what's your next best strategy? Well, if you're looking to relieve yourself of the stress of selling your own home and still get top dollar while getting the full service benefits that an experienced realtor can give you, then look no further. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where 3.5 to 3.9% commission assures that you pay less for full service.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Reports out of Arizona suggesting Brewers top prospect Jackson Chourio will be a part of the Brewers opening day roster this year. Chourio signing an 8-year, $82 million contract in December, despite having never played a game at the major league level. If he starts in center field on opening day, Chourio, who just turned 20, would become the third youngest player since 1900 to start in center field on opening day. The crew taking on the Guardians this afternoon in Arizona. We'll have coverage starting at 2:55 on WTMJ. And the Bucks head east to Boston for a Wednesday night matchup against the East-leading Celtics tomorrow. Checking the roads, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Just a couple of small slow spots on the system right now. Just north of Capitol Drive as you head south on 43, you'll tap the brakes a little bit. And also on 894 west from about 60th Street over to Forest Home. The rest of the system looking pretty good right now. No other major incidents or delays. And the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rest of this afternoon looks partly cloudy up to about 51. Winds will still be high, could gust up to 35 miles per hour. Clear tonight down to 25. Mostly sunny for your Wednesday and 36. Partly cloudy Thursday, 34. Snow then moves in late Thursday into Friday. We could see some accumulation as well with a high of 35. 33 and partly cloudy on Saturday. Right now in Madison, clouds in 44. In Green Bay, windy conditions in 48. In Waukesha, clouds in 45. And in Milwaukee, partly cloudy skies and 45 degrees. I'm Adam Roberts, Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Times 109.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State. Here's your host, Kristen Bry.
Good afternoon. Coming up today, we are headed to Racine for some beautiful peeps, then to Ashland County to visit the Bad River Band, and then finally to Neenah to talk to a married couple who are the proud sponsors of a 6-time Iditarod champion. And coming back not only for today, but for the rest of the week.
Yay.
Is my friend Brian Noonan.
Good to be here. Looking forward to 4 in a row.
4 in a row?
4 in a row.
You'll be sick of me by Friday?
I was going to say by Saturday you'll want to erase my contacts from your phone and move on. But for now, you're stuck with me through Friday.
Through Friday. All right. My question to you to start the show, Brian Noonan, are you on TikTok?
I have TikTok on my phone. I have never posted to TikTok, and I rarely, if ever, open the app.
Okay, so you're not a voyeur.
I'm not a TikToker.
What apps do you spend the most time on?
Instagram,
Okay.
Facebook, because I'm old, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
So those and X, formerly called Twitter.
Do you call it X?
No, I call it Twitter.
I don't know anyone. I also love that all of the media outlets, whenever there's an article and a reference,
yes.
X, formerly known as Twitter. How long do we have to do that for?
I don't know, but I started usually, I said it backwards. Usually I say Twitter, now known as X, because I refuse to call it X. It's ridiculous.
There's no good verb.
No,
for
I'm not
X.
Xing.
I X'd. I X'd my ex.
That's a lot of X's. All my exes are in Texas, so I don't know where else I'm going to deal with them here online.
All right. Well, we're bringing this up because it's been all over the headlines as far as last Wednesday, Congress passed a bill that would, quote unquote, ban TikTok. Is it really a ban?
Yeah, that's kind of a misnomer.
It would force the parent company, the parent Chinese company, ByteDance, to sell TikTok within 6 months, or it would be removed from app stores. You, as a TikTok consumer, would not be banned from using it.
Well,
it would get out of date because you couldn't upgrade it from the App Store.
And you must have strong feelings because you are an active TikToker. Is that what you call it? Active user of TikTok?
Well, I'm not as active as I wish I would, because now I have to host a show. But yes, I would say I owe my career in Wisconsin to TikTok and social media. Because in 2020, almost exactly 4 years ago, when I first came back and started As Goes Wisconsin, it was some on TikTok. It was across all the different platforms. But then I would say by 2021, because of the way the algorithm worked on TikTok, it was a content creator's dream.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I would say that in the way that, I'll try to summarize it quickly, but prior to TikTok and prior to an algorithm that was pushing your content to people that the algorithm thought would appreciate the stuff that you were making, you kind of basically had to be an expert marketer to try to get your stuff seen by people, right? If you posted something to YouTube, then you're posting the link and asking people to share it, but just hoping that the users that follow you will then share it so that you can get more users, and there's hashtag strategies and all this stuff to try to get your creativity and the thing that you made in front of more people to build an audience.
Right.
And then all of a sudden TikTok came along, and for the first time, without just one video, all of a sudden accumulating all of these views to people who have no idea who you are. And all of a sudden it became a lot easier to grow and have your stuff be seen and find like-minded a like-minded audience that I had experienced on any other platform prior to that.
Is there some sort of marketing strategy, though, for TikTok, too, to get you to work that algorithm, to massage it a little bit? Because I hear this all the time, the algorithm. How do you know what the algorithm wants? How do you know that when you post something to As Goes Wisconsin, it's going to fit into the parameters of this algorithm?
Honestly, the honest answer?
Yes.
You don't.
Okay, good.
It is so random of what the stuff that you'll spend no time on that all of a sudden racks up hundreds of thousands of views versus the thing you spent a lot of time on and are really proud of gets 2,000 views.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of people who charge money to be consultants to try to help you crack the code. But my instinct is that they don't really know what they're talking about either.
Nobody knows. All right.
But I kind of want to know about what the actual fear is, because my instinct is there's a lot of lobbyists at play, both on the TikTok side, both on the Meta side. Meta would be very happy if TikTok just went away.
Oh, of course.
And so I'm excited to talk to our next guest, who is a national security strategist and cybersecurity expert on, all right, break it down.
Well, so
how much of this is actually a threat?
Exactly, because you use those two terms, cybersecurity and national security. And who's going to say I'm not for national security? So the buzz is there, the hyperbole is there. People are, now everybody's. So how much of this is real, and how much of it is the boogeyman is out there in your phone and going to jump out and take everything away from America?
So we'll be back with our guest after this. This is Spanning the State on WTMJ.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Labor shortages, retention problems, it's been a challenging time for my business. But in Wisconsin, there's 600,000 people with disabilities who are ready to work right now. They just need you to believe in them and say yes. I did.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Who's faster, the Easter Bunny or O&H Danish Bakery? Kringle. Send that famous Kringle to any doorstep in just 2 business days. Serving Kringle will be the perfect Easter tradition. Pair that with their colorful and tasty Easter braided colored bread. Order your Easter treats online today. ohdanishbakery.com. Try all their delicious bakery made from scratch and hop into O&H Danish Bakery in Racine, Oak Creek, or Sturtevant this Easter season.
Had enough of this? Good, because it's time for this. Brewers baseball is back, and spring training is here on WTMJ.
Fly ball deep left. It is way back. It is gone.
Join us for our next spring training broadcast when the Brewers take on the Guardians. Our radio network game day coverage starts today at 2:55. We are the home and sound of Brewers baseball. WTMJ.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry. He is Brian Noonan. And last Wednesday, Congress passed a bill that would change, let's say instead of a ban, change how TikTok works inside of the United States because of concern over China's access to Americans' cell phone data. Here to tell us more about how much of a concern, how much we should be concerned, and how much this is maybe the boogeyman is national security strategist and cybersecurity expert Dave Schroeder. How are you doing today, Dave?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So, from your vantage point, with your background, what do you think the American government should do when it comes to TikTok?
Well, I think that I don't know what the government should do. So, just to get that out of the way, there's a lot of different opinions on that, but I can tell you what the concerns are, and the concerns with TikTok are really twofold. One of them is the data privacy aspect. What information TikTok has access to, And, both just to function, it needs a lot of access to information on your device, things like, a lot of the ways you use your device, your location, your search behaviors, the behaviors that you have while you're using the app. All of that data is extremely valuable to go to feedback into this algorithm, that you guys were just talking about. And the second concern is one of what information you see, why you see the information you see on the platform, what goes viral versus what doesn't, what bubbles to the top of search results. If you search for information about something as benign as a recipe, because a lot of younger people are using TikTok as a search engine instead of Google, and or maybe an important global issue like the war in Gaza, or what's going on with Taiwan, or elections, or geopolitical issues, because that algorithm is not transparent. And at the end of both of these things, whether it's data privacy or the algorithm, the national security concern is that because ByteDance, TikTok's parent, is a Chinese company, such a thing as a private company in China, that the Chinese government has influence and access in both of these scenarios. So that's the concern.
And Dave, both of those concerns that you brought up, very serious, obviously. Is this all hypothetical at this point, or has there been some sort of evidence or proof that this is actually happening now?
There is researchers have looked at how content is suppressed or maybe censored on the platform. These are usually sensitive issues that are often of concern to the Chinese government. Because we don't have direct access to the platform itself, there's no way to prove what ByteDance or the Chinese government is or isn't doing on the platform. So, one of the criticisms of some of the concerns about TikTok is that these things, are just theoretical. You don't really know what ByteDance or the Chinese government is or isn't doing, and that's true to a point. But at the end of the day, the algorithm is controlled by ByteDance, and the Chinese government, has connections to ByteDance that are of concern here. And that doesn't mean that every single thing that is happening on the platform is under Chinese government influence. Most of what's happening on the platform is just the things that whether it's influencers or normal users are doing on the platform about, completely benign topics. The concern comes in, when there's an important topic or something that China considers sensitive or something that they want to have influence over the way that, 150 million people in the United States are thinking about something, that algorithm is going to steer the content in a certain direction that wouldn't be happening in the same way on Facebook or Instagram or X. And we talk about these other platforms, they want to keep people engaged on the platform too, but they want to do it to keep advertisers on the platform for those ad dollars. And with TikTok is not, is still, even with its user base, is not a commercially profitable platform. In fact, that's one of the things that TikTok is kind of preparing, if this legislation does pass the Senate and is signed by the president into law, and they have to find or attempt to find a U.S. buyer, if they do want to divest themselves from ByteDance, one of their arguments now is, hey, our owner is unwilling to sell. That's ByteDance, and we're not actually really a commercially viable platform. So why would you want to buy us? And you kind of have to ask, since the platform isn't commercially viable and not profitable, then what's behind it that's supporting it?
That is the first I've actually ever heard that TikTok is not commercially viable, because I would imagine between the amount of ads and also the idea of TikTok Shop and how much gets sold on the app, that there's not a profit there.
Yeah, this is one of these things where it takes some time to build a platform like this. Again, just looking at it from a purely superficial commercial side, depending on what numbers you look at, TikTok as a platform, may end up being profitable in, either this year or next year, and if not then, soon. And that's the same thing that might have happened with Vine. Vine, for those who've been around the internet for a while, was that was something that was wildly popular, especially with young people. And Twitter ended up buying it, and they couldn't figure out after several years how to monetize it, and they ended up killing it. So that was a thing where that was a purely commercial decision. Hey, it's super popular. Everyone loves this, but we can't really figure out how to translate that into dollars. So TikTok has been able to hang around, I would argue longer than maybe U.S. platforms in a similar vein would have been without commercial viability, because there's that interest there of staying in front of that many people's eyeballs, and especially young people. And, this is where I often bring up the fact that TikTok as a platform is like many U.S. platforms, is also banned in China. There's a different platform that ByteDance operates in China called Douyin, which has a lot of different rules. Young people can only use it for 40 minutes a day. You can't use it after 10 p.m. or before 6 a.m. And you're going to see the kind of content on Douyin that is educational in nature, that is cool science experiments that you can do, that is, the kinds of things that maybe the Chinese government wants their youth to see. Now, that doesn't mean that, in the United States, we're going to follow that same kind of model where the government's controlling what people see on the platforms, because of the way that our system of government and free speech operates here. And ironically, that's one of the arguments that ByteDance is using, is that First Amendment argument to say that Congress shouldn't pass a law, regarding TikTok because of the First Amendment. And the thing here is that, it's really not the ban that everyone's talking about. I don't think that's really the goal. The goal is to give more leverage here, to have transparency into what TikTok is doing, and hopefully separate it from the Chinese government. But even if it were to become law, there's a lot of things that have to happen, and many months before anything would be able to occur.
Dave, one last question. We have about a minute left. As a TikTok user myself, are you recommending that I get rid of the app on my phone, or can I continue to make videos?
I think you can continue to make videos.
Okay.
I don't think it's realistic to ask people to delete TikTok. But what I would say is to have an awareness about what's going on the platform, and to question when you search for something or when you see something go viral, especially if it's about something that's like a global geopolitical issue. Ask yourself why you're seeing it, and what the motivations might be behind that.
Very interesting.
Great advice, Dave. Dave Schroeder is a national security strategist and cybersecurity expert at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks, Dave.
My pleasure. See you later.
This is Spanning the State on WTMJ.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
This is Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford, where you can get a 2023 Ford F-150 with 1.9%, 66-month FlexBuy financing. Plus, you get a factory FlexBuy bonus cash of $2,000. And with a trade-in, you get an extra factory bonus of $1,000. Ford Motor Company has awarded Hiller with their Ford President's Award for customer satisfaction 18 times. So you know you'll be treated right. Stop in and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day, and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic, where I've seen children as young as infants going in for regular chiropractic care, tummy issues, better sleep, better behavior. Chiropractic care can help the whole family, including the kids. No worries about whipping the neck around or cracking backs. The docs at Connect Chiropractic use a special tool for all the adjustments, no twisting, no cracking, no popping. They'll tell you all about it at a workshop built for parents, March 20th, 6 p.m. at the office in Wauwatosa. Sign up online, Go Connect Chiro, that's goconnectchiro.com.
Hi everybody, this is Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford on Highway 100. If you've driven past our dealership lately, you might have noticed we've been stocking up our inventory and now have a huge selection of Ford vehicles. That includes the Ford Mavericks so many people are looking for, as well as full-size Ford Broncos. Those full-size Broncos come with a factory bonus cash of $1,000. So take advantage of all the savings. Stop in today and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Brian just asked me, Snapchat, that's still a thing?
Again,
Snapchat is still a thing.
The app is on my phone. I've never used it.
You've never used the Snapchat filters on your face and made funny faces?
No, I think that's no. I see people they're always filtered. I'm like, you look like somebody took a belt sander to your face. You don't look like a human being.
Very smooth.
Yeah. Listen, who are you, Christine Baranski? Getting shot through a cheesecloth? No, that's not me.
You never played with the thing with Snapchat filters is it's not just the beauty ones. It's also the dog one and the silly troll face one.
I don't want to be the attorney on a Zoom call that can't get out of the cat face because his kid made him a cat. That's not my thing. I just, I try to stay up to date and know what's happening because I'm not a Luddite. But it's just, no, that's the one. Isn't Snapchat where it's supposed to disappear, but then it wasn't disappearing?
Well,
see,
it's how the kids still chat with each other, and they have streaks and all this stuff. Snapchat is one of the ones that I'm not on.
Okay,
but I'm still on TikTok. All right. Well, after the news, I brought Brian a gift for today.
What?
If you would like to see his reaction, text WATCH to 855-616-1620, and we'll give you the link to the live stream. It's just a little, news is next. We'll talk about it next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. 5 states holding presidential primaries today. Key campaign issues including the Israel-Hamas war, Ukraine funding, and the migrant crisis are also on voters' minds. Aboard Air Force One, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says GOP House Speaker Mike Johnson refuses to bring up a bill for a vote that includes bipartisan support for border funding.
We got to get that border security deal done. We need to provide DHS with more funding, with more resources to actually deal with the challenges at the border.
Speaker Johnson says the border bill doesn't go far enough. In Miami, former Trump advisor Peter Navarro reported to federal prison today. He'll serve 4 months after being convicted of contempt of Congress for defying a January 6th committee subpoena. Tomorrow marks the first day of spring, but allergy season has already hit due to early blooms. Other parts of the country still dealing with freeze alerts. This is ABC News.
Signing Unlimited WTMJ News Times 131. 2 days. That's how long the Wisconsin Supreme Court gave for arguments regarding legislative boundaries. The Wisconsin Elections Commission asked the state Supreme Court to clarify which maps should be used for any recall or special election held before November. Recall organizers targeting Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vos submitted recall petitions last week. An initial review determined there were not enough valid signatures from the Vos district. The court gave all parties in the case until Thursday to file a response to the request for clarity from the Election Commission. A Wauwatosa Catholic Church is closing its doors. In a letter to parishioners on Sunday, Reverend Philip Bogacki said St. Bernard Parish will merge with its sister parish, Christ King. Bogacki cited changes in demographics and church-going habits in Wauwatosa. The church will remain open while a developer submits plans to the city for approval. And early in-person voting begins today for the April 2nd spring election and presidential preference. If you live in Milwaukee, most voting locations are open daily until March 30th. The Zeidler Municipal Building, Capitol Drive Voting Center, and various library locations are also open on weekends. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Still all green for the majors right now. The Dow's up 237 points to 39,028. The S&P 500 up 24 to 5,174. And the NASDAQ is up 69 points to 16,173. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Just one incident on the system right now. We've got the right shoulder blocked due to a broken down vehicle on 94 heading north just beyond Holt, and the rest of the system looks good. Some of that earlier volume on 43 South and 894 West has cleared up, and you've got a nice, free, easy ride. No incidents or delays. And your WTMJ forecast for today, partly cloudy, high of 51, windy as well, gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Clear tonight down to 25, 36 and mostly sunny for your Wednesday, 34 Thursday before snow moves in late, more likely early Friday. Could see some accumulation as well, a high of 35, and Saturday looks partly cloudy with a high of 33 degrees. Right now out west in DeSoto, checking in at 51. In Franklin, it's 45. And in Milwaukee, partly cloudy and 45 degrees. I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Times 134.
The sooner you address your joint pain, the better. You really don't want your pain to become chronic, to a point when surgery may become your only option. Address your joint pain issues early and calm down that inflammation and increase your mobility. Get the joints moving again and the blood circulating. That could be very beneficial. Plus, why not just feel better sooner? By coming to Rejuvenex, at the very least we can alleviate your pain, so you can feel and move better to help you live a better quality of life. Don't you deserve at least that? Multi-joint treatments at Rejuvenex can cost as little as, well, nothing. That's because we are in network with almost all major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. So you really have nothing to lose, except a very good chance of living with a lot less pain. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Bird is a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a winner. Well, a bird, bird. The bird's
I feel like I'm in Full Metal Jacket.
That is Brian Newman. I am Kristen Bry. This is Spanning the State. Now, Brian, I brought you something.
You did? That was very sweet of you.
So we
I
talked,
brought you nothing.
That's fine. We talked. First, I guess, did you have a fulfilling St. Patrick's Day?
Yes. I downed many pints of Guinness and ate corned beef, and I made some brown bread, some Irish brown bread.
Oh.
So, yes, it was
nice.
very nice.
Well, I thought of you. So I did not partake in St. Patrick's Day this year.
Okay.
I was home with the baby. Could not take as much as she's a Wisconsin baby.
I was going to say
she gets taken to bars, super crowded bars on St. Patrick's Day. Not so much.
Not good.
But my husband came home with a T-shirt.
Oh,
and it made me think of our conversation about green beer.
Yes.
And so it's probably not going to fit you, but it was a free giveaway. And so read to the people what the shirt says.
There's no green beer in Ireland. Drink whiskey. Yes, there is no green beer in Ireland. Well, thank you so much. That's
I don't know if
lovely.
it will fit you or not, but because we had that conversation as far as no one knows how green beer got associated with St. Patrick's Day, but you
Marketing.
and other Irishmen, not a fan.
There was no green beer in my home. Everything was very dark and creamy. And then, well,
And whiskey.
And whiskey. Yes.
Whiskey, not dark, not creamy.
No, it
a
was
little dark.
Well, it depends. I had some Baileys, we had some Teeling, which is Irish whiskey, and Guinness.
Okay.
So,
all right, there you go.
but I wasn't leaving the house, so I was very responsible.
Good job. So I bring that up because of sometimes these, marketing things become very intertwined with our holidays,
Yes.
green beer and St. Patrick's Day. And for Easter, Peeps. Peeps
I
and Easter
love
go together, but
Peeps.
it's a very divisive topic.
Here's at Halloween, I have the hot take that I actually love candy corn.
Oh.
And I know that is most people. It's the same with Peeps. Peeps are fun. They're delightfully cute. They're colorful. They're sugary.
They're soft for a little while.
Right. Well,
not forever.
They're not meant to be sitting out. They're meant to be consumed quickly.
Or potentially for an art project, but we'll come back to that.
That's true.
But do you feel like what do you think the Venn diagram is between people who like candy corn and people who like Peeps? Do you think it's a full circle, or do you think there's enough distinction between the two?
I think candy corn is much more divisive than Peeps, in my opinion. I've had people get very angry with me about their distaste for candy corn. Even in my own home.
And the fact that you like it?
Yes.
They're literally yucking your yum?
They don't like, they yuck my yum, they harsh my mellow, they kill my buzz, they do it all. But and yet I persevere.
And yet you're still here.
I'm still here.
Liking your candy
That's
corn,
right.
liking your Peeps.
That's right, Brock's shout out.
Let us know on the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. How do you feel about Peeps? Do you like them? Do you like to eat them? Do you like to look at them? And I think even most importantly, would you go to the Racine Art Museum to see them displayed and used as material for beautiful art projects? Art.
May I ask another option? Are you the chick or the bunny peep? Because I think there's two kinds of people. I think the people who are old school like the chick-shaped peep, whether it's in yellow or pink or whatever. And then there's the bunny peep.
Do they taste differently? Is it like the Girl Scout cookies from last week where there's two different bakeries?
They
and
taste exactly the same. Even when now there's 58 kinds of peep flavors. And they all taste like sugar. They all taste like diabetes. That's what they taste like. And they're delicious.
And they're very, very yummy. All right. Well, the Racine Art Museum, starting this Thursday, is the 15th annual International Peeps Art Exhibition. And so what kind of art can you make with a peep? We'll find out when we come back.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
CertaPro painters know how important your home is to you. I know how good a job they do because CertaPro painters did our house. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It was professional, it was easy, it was quick, and it was efficient. And so affordable. It's CertaPro painters. They get the job done right, even those hard-to-reach places they will knock out of the ballpark. Free estimates, reliable communication, professional painting, all at the right price. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters. Choose the team we went with, CertaPro painters.
Whether you're seeking endless sunshine, ancient landmarks, or scenic views, Fox World Travel can take you there.
We are proud to partner with outstanding cruise companies, including Holland America, Princess Cruises, Celebrity, and Royal Caribbean, to bring you unbeatable rates for your next cruise. Unleash your inner adventurer and book your dream cruise by visiting foxworldtravel.com or calling us at 866-GO-FOX-GO. Enjoy the freedom of unpacking once and set sail for adventure.
The Original Botanas Restaurant. Delectable entrees, 50 top shelf tequilas, 20 different margarita flavors. Stop by for lunch or before or after the big game. The Original Botanas on 5th Street.
Hey 620 WTMJ fans, Gary Ellison here for my good friends over at Best Electric Services. They're family owned and operated and have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's making panel upgrades to your home, tuning up your generator, installing electric vehicle charging, or residential service calls. Best Electric provides quality services at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the best. Best Electric Service. Find out more at bestelect.com.
Hi folks, Cindy Storm Fisher and Julie Coombs here at Storm Fisher Investment Group with just one question. Are you happy with how your investments are growing? We've been helping people just like you for over 40 years, and we'd be happy to help you.
We have no agenda, no quotas to meet, and great relationships are our business. If you're looking for an advisory relationship like you've never had before, call us. Let's see if it's a great fit. Storm Fisher Investment Group, online at stormfisher.com.
See you soon.
Securities offered through Securities America Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Storm Fisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
Love Peeps or hate Peeps? They're on a shelf near you in your local Walgreens or Target because
Everywhere.
Easter is just around the corner. But for people who don't like Peeps, maybe you'll like them better as art. And if so, you can, starting this Thursday, you can see them at the 15th year annual Peeps-inspired community art exhibition at the Racine Art Museum. And here to tell us more about the exhibit is marketing and communications specialist from the museum, Tyler Potter. How you doing, Tyler?
Hello, I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Doing well.
We are good. We are excited about Peeps and art. So you guys have the
that's
perfect combination.
Exactly, yep. It's a little unusual for a museum. You might just think offhand, but we're always really excited to host this one.
Is this the only museum in the country and or maybe the world that has a Peep exhibit?
At least for a while, we definitely were the only museum doing this. I think maybe other museums may have caught on to this. I know it's definitely becoming a more popular trend just in general, but at least in the area, we're the only museum for sure.
How did this start? Because it seems like it is an unusual medium to create art with.
Oh, absolutely, and we agree on that. It really started off 15 years ago, of course, when we were really interested in doing something to engage people and bring out creative thinking. Around this time of year, it's leading into the spring, but it's still got that winter dreariness. We saw some Peeps and thought that would be a perfect splash of color for this kind of time of year. And because of the nature of the Peeps candy itself, it's really iconic. It really makes people think outside of the box to either use it as a media or a subject material. And we've been rolling with it since. We've always been surprised by the popularity of this and just what people bring to the table for it.
So what is the criteria, Tyler? As far as it can be made of Peeps, but it also can use Peeps as the inspiration. But what qualifies and what does not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yep, like you were saying, as long as the piece uses just the Peeps brand marshmallow candy itself as a material in the work, or if you're representing it somehow, like if you're recreating it through painting, through fiber, ceramic, anything like that. And then as long as it fits within a couple of size requirements and the general content of the piece is family friendly, then you're basically assured to get in.
So what is the most unusual piece, Tyler, that you've seen over the years? Because looking at the Racine Museums of Art's website, there's some phenomenal work but there have to be some that maybe didn't quite fit the family-friendly mold or were just very unusual that stick out in your mind.
Oh, sure. There were a couple of pieces that I think of, that just the way that people went about making it was really surprising. I remember in, I believe, 2017 or 18, there was a piece that replicated a pointillist painting by using a hole puncher to punch out circular holes from the marshmallow peeps. And then they glued that together to create the point representation. I believe Sarah, the artist, is one of his paintings. I was just blown away at the fact that, using a hole puncher on marshmallow candy, I guess, yeah, that's what we're doing for an art exhibition. You never really think to do that.
No, you don't.
And a lot of people, they go crazy with it. There's a lot. You see a lot of melted peeps. You see a lot of just kind of cut up and reshaped peeps. It really does span the gamut.
Now, are these artists that have had things at the museum already? Are they people who may not create art the rest of the year, but they have the inspiration when the peeps come around? Whose art is being exhibited?
It's both of exactly what you just said. So my favorite part of the Peeps exhibition is that it really appeals to makers of any age and any ability. I mean, we do have some professional artists, like artists that we collect in the museum's permanent collection, will submit work to this show. And I always find that fascinating in terms of how that artist has to kind of pivot what they normally do to either use peeps or represent peeps in their work. That always fascinates me. And then on the inverse, too, we have a lot of people that are submitting to the show that might not otherwise even consider themselves an artist. I've talked to several people where this is the only, form of art that they ever really create at any given point. But they feel more inclined to do so because it's kind of a more low stakes and a very accessible kind of exhibition.
Tyler, I'm looking at the website right now with some of the examples of the pieces, and I know tomorrow is the virtual awards presentation, and I'm looking at this as there's a great Peep Swift, the Marshmallow era. There's Grim Peeper. There's Medusa with some little peepers for her hair. How do you decide? Is it the punniest? Is it the use of materials? How do you decide who wins for the awards?
So the staff members that are selecting the awards, I think they typically go off of the general best usage or representation of the peep, like whatever is the most creative. And then it seems like a lot of more artistic references, too, seem to be favored, just based on what I've been noticing. But it's really just dependent on, the level of creativity and the way that the piece was executed.
So the exhibition starts tomorrow. How long does it run?
So it runs, it's actually open starting on Thursday, March 21st, and then it runs through April 13th, which is a Saturday. So it's a pretty short one, but we get so many visitors during that period of time, so people really do take the time every year to, pencil that out on the calendar.
Tyler Perry is from the Racine Art Museum. If you would like more information on the 15th Annual International Peeps Brand Art Exhibition, you can go to ramart.org. Thank you so much for your time, Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler.
Oh, of course. Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back. This is Spanning the State on WTMJ.
Come see Thanalysis live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel on Friday, March 22nd.
Hey, welcome to another Thanalysis show. And we are coming on in today's podcast.
Be there for the first ever live show for Thanasis as he's joined by his brother, none other than the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I took off my shoes and I was like, go crazy, go hoop. That's all it was.
Get your tickets now at TALiveshow.com. Thanalysis live at Potawatomi Casino Hotel on March 22nd. TALiveshow.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day, and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about Accunet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
Matt had just moved into his first apartment and needed furniture to fill it, but he didn't have a big credit line. So I told him about St. Vincent de Paul. There's always a nice selection of gently used furniture there, and sometimes you can find some really cool retro pieces. And the best part is, it's always super affordable. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores for first-time furniture buyers or anyone looking for great deals on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Well, if Racine is too far for you to get to, apparently there is also a Peeps exhibit in Stevens Point.
Is that right? That came from our roving correspondent?
Our roving correspondent, Debbie Bry in Wisconsin Rabbits, let us know during the commercial break that there is also a Peeps art show in Stevens Point. So
see, they're spreading like wildfire, but we'll give Racine the first. They were the original.
They were the original.
Now everybody else is
And
copycat.
so, like we said, we asked the question earlier as far as, is the Venn diagram of candy corn and Peeps lovers a circle, or is there separation? I think there's separation. We have one text on the WTMJ talk and text line from the 414 saying, candy corn is amazing.
Yes.
Peeps are meant to blow up in the microwave.
That would be fun. I've never done it. I've heard tell of it. It sounds like a good idea. Now, you never answered. You quizzed me if I was a Peeps fan. You never answered. Are you a Peeps fan?
I'm good for one Peep.
One Peep?
Unlike the box of Girl Scout cookies that I finished last night on my own,
well, that's
I don't
easy.
think I could do an entire row, let alone box
Like a
of
six
Peeps.
Peep row you couldn't do?
And I also just think your teeth at some point are going to be like cemented together if you have too much of that marshmallow fluff.
Well, you won't sleep, but that's good. You got the baby. You don't need sleep when you eat Peeps.
Totally.
You just get all jacked up.
All right, so we have Mike on the phone who you're going to answer as far as for yourself, the Venn diagram between candy corn and Peeps. Is it a full circle?
Well, all I can tell you is that I'm one of those guys who likes both.
Okay.
But
good for
I'm
you.
satisfied with one or two Peeps at the most. Candy corn I will keep eating. And I usually like to get one yellow, one pink. I do prefer the chicks for whatever reason.
There
I
you
guess I'm
go.
a traditionalist.
Yes.
I like, Peeps go back certainly to when I was a kid, and I'm sure they go back further than that. But the funny thing is that when I was a kid, those were kind of considered the worst Easter candy. They've made just some incredible comeback that they become, bigger than anything. And I do like the different colors and stuff like that, but a pink and yellow Peep, that will suffice for all of Easter for me.
Do you have, so is that your go-to Easter candy, or is a Cadbury egg somewhere in the mix?
No, my go-to Easter candy is Jelly Bellies and Fannie Mae cream eggs.
Fannie Mae cream eggs are the truth.
Brian, you just made a face for the Jelly Bellies.
I
Not a
am
fan?
not a Jelly Bean fan at all. But, Mike, the rest of your candy opinions are right on point. I love it. I love the candy corn. I love the Peeps. I question your ability to have only two, but, that's okay. To each his own. But, the Fannie Mae cream eggs, come on. Nicely done,
They're
Mike.
the bomb. Thank you. The dark chocolate with the vanilla butter cream is just, I don't know, you can't beat it.
Yeah. I'd go Trinidad, but they're all good.
Thanks so much for the call,
Thanks,
Mike.
One quick thing, Brian.
Yes.
I wanted to mention one quick thing. I know you're from Chicago, or at least Illinois. So a couple Easters ago, my brother lives in Evanston, so I went to this bar in Rogers Park after brunch, and I had a Peep Teeny.
Ooh.
Now we piqued Kristen's interest.
Yeah, add some booze, and now I'm interested.
Now we're in. Thanks, Mike.
Now she's going to go beyond just one.
Exactly.
God. All right. Well, coming up next hour, have you heard of the Bad River Band?
No, I know the Little River Band.
It is not a musical group.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking there's a new documentary about the Bad River Band. We're going to be talking to the film's director. And then at the end of the show, Iditarod.
Yes.
This is yours. You're all over this.
It's fascinating to me.
All right. A Nina connection to the current Iditarod winner, six-time winner.
Six-time champion.
Join us after the news. This is Spanning the State.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Right now, the prices of diamonds are probably the lowest we'll see in our lifetime.
Diamond prices are low, low, low. Here's why.
It was hard to meet new people during COVID.
When a person meets their soulmate, they usually get engaged about 39 months later.
People started dating again only about 36 months ago.
Most of the people who got engaged during COVID
or immediately after COVID
were already in a relationship before the COVID lockdown began.
The Wall Street Journal even published a story about all of this.
Low sales of engagement rings created a worldwide oversupply of diamonds.
But now, engagement ring sales are beginning to pick up again.
By the end of next spring, this temporary oversupply will be gone.
And diamond prices will start climbing like crazy.
If you ever wanted to own a big diamond, this is the year to do it.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
If you want to own a big diamond, the time is now.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this. Who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated? Might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
If you love authentic Mexican food, this is for you. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford because it's locally family-owned and it is super affordable and delicious. This is new and it's amazing. Today and every Tuesday, the Mine Shaft presents their all-you-can-eat authentic Mexican buffet for under $10. Seriously, it's all you can eat. It's just $9.99. Wow. It's the best Tuesday dining value anywhere. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that $2 million game room quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. The Mine Shaft's all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet is under $10. Kids under 3 always eat for free. Come early from 2 till 5, Monday through Thursday. Beers, cocktails, and appetizers are half price. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and right off the interstate in Oshkosh. Try the all-you-can-eat Tuesday Mexican buffet today from 11 a.m. for under $10. MineShaftRestaurant.com. Big food, big fun. It's the Mine Shaft.
The place you want to go. Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock and 42 degrees. I'm Greg Matzik. Cloudy skies today with a high of 51, mostly clear tonight with a low of 25. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the jury in the Kim Zapata trial heard from Milwaukee Election Commission Executive Director Claire Woodall-Vogt today. Zapata, former Milwaukee elections official, accused of illegally requesting 3 absentee military ballots and having them sent to Menominee Falls State Representative Janelle Brantgen. Woodall-Vogt described the moment Zapata admitted to her she was responsible.
She told me that she had requested those ballots.
What did she tell you about that?
She was frustrated that people like Representative Brantgen continue to focus on what they consider election fraud issues that aren't real, and that this is a real potential security issue that she wanted to bring to her attention.
The defense claims Zapata requested the ballots in order to prove there were flaws in the system. Well, free speech has restrictions within the RNC zone this July. Urban Milwaukee's Jeremy Janine tells WTMJ there's a legal accepted right of sight and sound at the convention.
In Milwaukee, that's going to mean Pierre Marquette Park to Fiserv Forum, a couple blocks away. There will be an amplified stage. The city will be supplying the amplification, so it won't be bring your own megaphone. And then there will be a parade route, and you're going to get probably left-wing groups, you're going to get right-wing groups, you're going to get all kinds of people at different viewpoints.
Janine says people who want to protest in the secure free speech zone must sign up beforehand. War and global issues continue to interfere with international sporting events. ABC's Brian Clark says that includes this summer's Olympic Games in Paris.
Russian and Belarusian athletes will be allowed to take part in this summer's Olympics as neutral athletes with no flags or national anthems. The International Olympic Committee will vet each athlete who must not have publicly supported Russia's invasion of Ukraine or affiliate with military or state security agencies. The IOC said Thursday these athletes will not be allowed to take part in the parade of athletes during the opening ceremony. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Well, don't look now, but another round of snow is headed our direction. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Disnansky tells Wisconsin's Morning News the Friday commute could be a little dicey.
I don't think this is a major winter storm for us. I do think maybe up towards, like, if you're north of West Bend, you should be on a little bit more alert that you could end up with snow blower type snow.
Your complete 5-day forecast is coming up. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All the indices in the green this afternoon. The Dow is up 249 points at 39,039. S&P 500 up about 21.5 points at 5170. And the NASDAQ also up today about 50.5 points at 16,154. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com, click on the Get Started button today. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. We got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff. Yeah.
Great. And we have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here it goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll absolutely guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight from the mine. We have cutters and hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement.
At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Reports out of Arizona suggest Brewers top prospect Jackson Chourio will be a part of Milwaukee's opening day roster. He signed an 8-year, $82 million contract in December, despite having never played a game at the major league level. Brewers on the air this afternoon on WTMJ as Cactus League play continues from Arizona. Coverage gets underway at 3 o'clock. And the Bucks head east to Boston for a Wednesday night matchup against the East-leading Celtics. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic update. Standard travel times across the system this afternoon. Tap on the brakes if you're 43 southbound. Brown Deer to downtown, normally about an 11-minute ride. It'll run you 14 today. We do have a vehicle on the shoulder, 43 southbound, and Holt, that is out of traffic. You're not experiencing any travel delays. Just be mindful, maybe move over if you get the opportunity. Otherwise, standard travel times across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by the Delafield Brewhouse Restaurant and Brewery. Visit delafieldbrewhouse.com for daily specials.
Now on tap at the Delafield Brewhouse, Hopped Up and Hazy, a New England-style IPA with bright grapefruit and citrus aromas. Drink ale, live lager. The Delafield Brewhouse.
Partly cloudy, windy today with a high of 51. Clear tonight and a low of 25. Mostly sunny, breezy, and chilly for Wednesday with a high of 36. We hang out in the 30s the rest of the week with snow arriving on Friday. Right now it's 48 degrees in Madison, 46 in Green Bay, 46 in Waukesha, and 45 at the Avenue. I'm Greg Matzik. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:09.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State. Here's your host, Kristen Bry.
Welcome back to the 2 o'clock hour of Spanning the State. If you missed anything we talked about in the first hour, you can also always go listen to it as a podcast, WTMJ.com. Look for Spanning the State or find it on Spotify and Apple. My guest co-host is Brian
all week.
Newman.
Yes.
All week.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me
1
again.
hour done.
Yeah, we're, what do we got? I don't know, 7 hours left?
Yeah, good
all
math.
Right.
Fast math.
Fast math.
There, Brian Noonan.
Single-digit math, nobody faster than me.
What's your go-to when you are subbing as a teacher?
Yeah.
What's your favorite subject to sub?
Anything English, reading, writing, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I get even into
not math.
No, not math. Even fifth grade math, because they don't teach it the same. It's not the same. And I'm not, I wish I had been taught it this way because I was watching a fourth grade teacher teach fractions, which I always had a problem with. And the way she was teaching, I was like, oh my God, I can understand
this. I could have done that.
Yeah, I could have
done
that
math.
easy? No, so yes, I try to stay away from math. It's
Shakespeare, though.
Yes, if you want to write, if you need a sentence constructed, if you need to, I had the assistant principal walk in 2 weeks ago. I was doing a read aloud for the kindergarten class, and she came in and she was standing in the back, and I'm like, what is she doing here? And I finished. She said, I never knew you were so good at read aloud. Okay, well, I put that on the resume, so very excited. I think that's how I got this. That's how I got to sit in with you.
Because you're good at read aloud?
We're good at read aloud.
To start bringing in Frankie's books for you to read aloud when we don't have a topic to talk about.
It's Brian's Storybook Corner.
All right. Well, have you heard of the Bad River Band?
I have not.
I had not either, if I'm being fully transparent. But no, it's not what would be a good name of a musical group. But it is not. It's a federally recognized tribe of the Ojibwe people, and the Bad River Reservation is located on the south shore of Lake Superior. So we're talking up near Ashland.
Yes.
Ashland Bayfield area. And what I didn't know until I heard about this documentary coming out was that for almost 5 years, the Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa, which is the full name, has been engaged in a legal battle with a Canadian energy company called Enbridge.
Okay.
And so it sounds similar to the pipeline.
Yes, the one coming from Alaska.
In the Dakotas.
Right.
And so, and I can't believe I can't remember.
I'm blanking on it as well.
I am totally blanking. That was... All right, you look it up. I'm going to keep talking about this. But so basically, the tribe wants to shut down the company's oil and gas pipeline on tribal lands because they're fearing that erosion near its Line 5 pipeline could lead to an oil spill and potentially, screw up Lake Superior, it's not just, I feel like if something happens to Lake Superior, that's not just for this tribe that's an issue. That's an issue for everyone who uses one of the largest freshwater lake in the country, if I'm not mistaken.
It makes it's one of those things where and we'll hear more of the details, but anybody who hears the details and doesn't go, boy, this is a problem. There's no way that this can be safe for not only the people there, but the land and the water table is. They're not listening.
Exactly. And so there's a new documentary that just premiered last weekend called Bad River, and it chronicles this ongoing fight. And so the exciting thing is that it opened in select the AMC theaters last weekend, and it's sold out in all of the shows in Ashland, and it set some records. And then it's been extended for another week, which was not the plan. So far, so good as far as the reception for this documentary. And celebrities like Jason Momoa and Leonardo DiCaprio and Wisconsin's own Mark Ruffalo have all posted and promoted the film. And so when we return, we're going to hear more about the story itself, the making of this documentary, and what the reception's been like from the film's director, Mary Mazzio. So stay tuned. This is Spanning the State.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson.
We're getting all 4 seasons, it looks like, in the span of just about 72 hours.
Entertainment.
His name's John Crimper.
I rode sheep when I was 3, and that's when it all started.
And more. Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
This is Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford, where you can get a 2023 Ford F-150 with 1.9%, 66-month FlexBuy financing. Plus, you get a factory FlexBuy bonus cash of $2,000. And with a trade-in, you get an extra factory bonus of $1,000. Ford Motor Company has awarded Hiller with their Ford President's Award for customer satisfaction 18 times. So you know you'll be treated right. Stop in and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates, and we're passionate about continuing on our mission to help more Wisconsin businesses create more success. If you have any questions about our insurance products or just want a second opinion about your insurance or employee benefits, I invite you to check out ANSI.com, or better yet, give us a call at Yancey & Associates. And let's have a conversation about your business and how we can help you secure, protect, and grow your version of the American dream.
Hi everybody, this is Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford on Highway 100. If you've driven past our dealership lately, you might have noticed we've been stocking up our inventory and now have a huge selection of Ford vehicles. That includes the Ford Mavericks so many people are looking for, as well as full-size Ford Broncos. Those full-size Broncos come with a factory bonus cash of $1,000. So take advantage of all the savings, stop in today, and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
This is a story of the Bad River people and their home on Lake Superior. They've had to fight for who they are.
And the Ojibwe have been resisting ever since.
A new documentary, Bad River, is documenting the Bad River Band of Lake Superior Chippewa's history of resistance in order to protect the Bad River and its tribal sovereignty. Joining us now is the film's director, Mary Mazzio. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Thank you for having me, Kristen. How are you?
We're good. Congratulations on the very successful opening weekend.
Thank you. And Brian, hello to you.
Hello to you, Mary.
Thank you. We opened, as you know, at AMC Milwaukee, otherwise known as Mayfair Mall. And we're being extended because there was so much foot traffic and a lot of people actually driving. We heard like 350 miles, right, sometimes to get to whether it was in Milwaukee or Madison. And so AMC is extending us another week, and we're bringing some other theaters online at other spots around Wisconsin. And honestly, it's just been an extraordinary opportunity for this story, which, as you alluded to at the top of your show, It's about this small group of people, the Bad River people, who have been fighting with monumental effort to protect Lake Superior.
So tell us more about it. So I have not gotten to see the film yet. I've only been reading about it because you've gotten a fair amount of press, which is great. And so how do you summarize what the story has been and where we are today?
Oh, boy. So this is really a historical retrospective of the Bad River people. And originally it was going to be this David and Goliath battle with a Canadian pipeline operator. And here you have the Bad River people of northern Wisconsin, this small community. And it really expanded dramatically once tribal elders started talking about what they themselves, their parents, their grandparents did to protect resources going back hundreds of years. And that leads, Kristen, you mentioned tribal sovereignty. It's really an extraordinary story about this small group of people who are at huge personal cost protecting, a resource that all of North America is going to need with increasing weather, and they're doing it for all of us, right, at considerable cost. And as the former chairman of the Bad River Band said, what we're doing here, this is our patriotic duty to the country.
Now, Mary, it is a fascinating story. How did you come to learn about it and decide that this was a story worth telling?
Thank you for that question, Brian. Honestly, I had a chance encounter with the former chairman, Mike Wiggins, and he invited me out to the Bad River Reservation. And you can imagine, I'm so sure that when I showed up, there was like, whoa, she's non-native. She looks like a hockey mom. Like, what's she doing here? And and I have to tell you, here we are 2 years later, and I get a call from one of my favorite people in the world, 86-year-old Bad River tribal elder Myron Burnsy, and he calls me just to shoot just to talk about his beloved Packers and how my Patriots are just blowing it, And so some of the relationships, right, that you can build, and you realize once again, that talent and intellect and opportunity is equally distributed. It's access and opportunity that just aren't. And boy, if there's ever an exhibit A to people who are thinking beyond themselves, it is the Bad River Band. And they've turned down huge sums of money to settle this lawsuit. And they are refusing to enrich themselves for the benefit, and really thinking about the benefit of us as a country and protecting this resource. And if more of us were socialized to be thinking that way, how amazing would that be?
Because that's an important point. As far as I understand, the end of the movie is there is no end to this story yet, and that so far it's been going through the courts, and they're still on appeal, right?
Yes, exactly. But the story, it's not a pipeline story, right? It really is this amazing sort of chronicle of resilience and resistance. And this is just one chapter of a very, very long story. And after this pipeline operator, there is going to be yet someone else that will come and say, you know what, that land that's yours, I might want to exploit that or extract or do something else, right? This is just sort of the history of how native land has been treated in our country.
So while the story is about the people, and that's the crux of any good story, any good documentary, the people involved, the lawsuit is basically, if I understand it right, the pipeline was leasing some easements on the property. Those expired. The Bad River Band did not want to continue that, but the company stayed there, and so they were charged with trespassing. Do we have the basics?
So that's super close, Brian. And, so the pipeline operator, which is a Canadian pipeline operator, had been operating since the 50s along a 12-mile stretch of the reservation, 6 miles of which is, let's call it, much of it fell out of tribal hands for reasons we don't need to go into, but about 6 miles today is tribal land. 3 miles is owned by the tribe itself. The other 3 miles are what's called allotted parcels that are owned by Bad River members and now today the Bad River Band itself. And so about, I think, 13 easements came up and expired in 2013. And of course, the pipeline operator was required at that point in time to not only stop operations, but restore the land to the condition that it was in. And the pipeline operator just took the position that, we have another easement out there that's a little bit longer. Yes, there were internal documents that reflect this distress within the company over a state of trespass. But, the trespass continued in spite of the band's request to honor the terms of that easement agreement. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a good old-fashioned American contract. It ended, and yet the operations and pumping did not end. And so the lower court judge actually ruled that the pipeline had to be shut down by 2026. And the pipeline operator immediately appealed that decision. There were cross appeals, and that was heard just a few weeks ago in front of the Seventh Circuit. Brian, if I'm a betting person, I think this goes all the way to the Supreme Court. That's where I think this is headed.
Wow.
Is there another chapter then? Are you envisioning the second sequel?
Bad River 2?
What? Never say never, but we have this timeless story right now on our hands that really showcases the resilience, the badassedness, the resistance, the strength, and the courage of this group of people who, again, are fighting the good fight, not just for themselves, but for all of us.
Mary, where can people see the movie if they want to try to catch it this weekend?
Oh, thank you. Well, we are open in select cities across the country. If your listeners go to badriverfilm.com. Here in Milwaukee, of course, we're at the AMC Mayfair in Milwaukee. We're in Madison. We're in LA. We're in Boston. We're in Seattle. So please come check out our website, and would be thrilled for your listeners to come see the film and then join us afterwards. badriverfilm.com.
badriverfilm.com. Bad River director Mary Mazzio, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Mary.
All right. Thanks so much, Brian. Thank you, Kristen. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
News time 2:23. This is Spanning the State.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
I-94, eastbound. A semi just came to a screeching stop in the center lane. I think he's broken down right there.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
On southbound I-94, right around Drexel Avenue, there's a wreck in the left lane, and the left lane is blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Music director Ken David Mazur and the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra would like you to join them this month for Bachfest at the Bradley Symphony Center. The MSO presents 2 programs over the course of 3 days, each dedicated entirely to the genius of J.S. Bach. Highlights include the Brandenburg Concertos 1, 3, and 5, the Glorious Magnificat, which will feature vocal soloists and the MSO chorus, and the stunning Orchestral Suite No. 3, which contains the famous Air on the G string. Plus, world-renowned harpsichord Mahan Esfahani and celebrated Baroque violinist Rachel Ellen Wong will be the featured soloists in concertos for their instruments. Bachfest runs March 22nd through the 24th. Select one program or both, or on March 23rd, both in the same day. Visit MSO.org for tickets and detailed program information, or call the box office now at 414-291-7605.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day, and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry. He is Brian Noonan. Now, we were just, our previous guest, Mary Mazzio, was talking about how people had drove hundreds of miles.
That's amazing, isn't it?
To see
this film?
This movie. And speaking of that,
yes.
Would you ever ride a pack of dogs 1,000 miles?
I find dog sledding to be fascinating. I would never put the dogs through that, dragging me around. But, yes, I've
so
been
you
pushing
wanted to
this.
talk about this. I know very little about the Iditarod.
I know that the Iditarod, like you said, is 1,000 miles. It goes from
Cue Vanessa Carlson.
It goes from Anchorage to Nome, Alaska. It can take anywhere from 8 to 15 days for these mushers and their dog athletes to complete it. I know the last person just crossed the line the other day. It was pitch black when they came across. They were all alone. All the spectators had gone home. It was like, hey, we're here. Like, oh, we didn't even know you were still in the race. That's crazy. So it goes along an old postal route through Alaska. So they go through all these little towns and stuff. The mushers have to stop at certain spots to rest not only themselves but their dogs. And it is a test of endurance, stamina, athleticism. It's just
camaraderie with you and the dogs, I imagine.
Yeah, just how these men and women and their dogs. And there's a junior division. A kid from Wisconsin won the junior or came in second in the junior division.
Is that also 1,000 miles?
I hope not. We said my
I would
16
hope not too. But just to put it in context, so we looked at this before the show. What is 1,000 miles? And 1,010 miles is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to Denver, Colorado. So imagine a pack of dogs and you on a sled.
Yeah, look at your dogs and think, can they pull me to Denver?
From here to Denver, and tell me how you think you'd do.
Through snow and blizzards and frigid temperatures and moose.
In our next guest we're going to talk to, there was a moose situation with this year's winner.
Moose are very, very duplicitous because Bullwinkle seems very friendly, and yet a real live moose, not friendly at all.
I've heard moose are similar to hippos and surprisingly unfriendly.
And the only thing I can figure is they're cranky because they're carrying around those giant antlers and their neck hurts, because they look like they should be docile.
They should just be bigger horses that are
just kind of hanging around, enjoying their grazing, and yet they have an inner meanness.
Very aggressive. Very, very. All I could think of is how moose are like the spiders of Australia. Have you ever heard this story?
No.
As far as Peppa the Pig?
No,
Peppa the Pig.
I don't watch Peppa.
I'll say this quickly. There's a spider episode of Peppa the Pig that Peppa becomes friends with the spider.
Okay.
That episode is banned in Australia because they don't want to teach children in Australia that spiders can be friendly, because the spiders in Australia, not friendly.
No.
Definitely not friendly.
I would like to see Peppa take on a moose then.
Right?
Or her spider take on a moose. That would be.
All right. Well, when we come back, a story about a Wisconsin couple and their sponsorship of an Iditarod champion. Citing Unlimited News Time, 2:30. News is next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Two top military leaders who oversaw the U.S. withdrawal of Afghanistan in 2021 testified at a House hearing today. General Mark Milley, retired chair of the Joint Chiefs who served during the Trump and Biden administrations, says the deaths of 13 U.S. service members due to a suicide bomber is personal for him, and he defended the evacuation of tens of thousands of U.S. personnel and at-risk Afghans.
The United States military performed one of the most incredible evacuations under pressure in recorded history, in an extremely difficult, dynamic, and dangerous environment. That performance is due to the individual bravery, competence, and compassion of every private to general who had any role in this NEO.
In Miami, former Trump advisor Peter Navarro began his 4-month sentence in federal prison for his contempt of Congress conviction for defying a January 6th committee subpoena. Voters in 5 states casting ballots in the presidential primary races today. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 2:31. I'm Greg Matzik. 2 days. That's how long the Wisconsin Supreme Court gave for arguments regarding legislative boundaries. The Wisconsin Elections Commission asked the state Supreme Court to clarify which map should be used for any recall or special election held before November. Recall organizers targeting Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vos submitted recall petitions last week. An initial review determined there were not enough valid signatures from the Vos district. Jesse Vrang requested charges be dismissed in a child neglect case. He is the person that 3-year-old Elijah Vu was staying with before the boy's disappearance. Vang and Vu's mother, Katrina Bauer, both face felony chronic neglect of a child charges, but have not been charged in Vu's disappearance. Vang now has appointed attorney. That could move the case against him and Bauer forward. Meanwhile, authorities in Two Rivers have confirmed a red and white plaid blanket found 4 miles from the boy's last known location does indeed belong to the child. And early in-person voting begins today for the April 2nd spring election and presidential preference. If you live in Milwaukee, most voting locations open daily until March 30th. The Zeidler Municipal Building, Capitol Drive Voting Center, and various library locations also open on the weekends. Primary candidates for president are set with their party's nominations, but there are multiple referenda, mayoral, and local races on the ballots. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Good day so far. The Dow in the green, 245 points up at 39,035. S&P 500 also up about 17 points at 5166. The Nasdaq up about 26 points at 16,129. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com. Let's check out your roads here. Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Update. Standard times on the system today. You're driving around smoothly from 43 southbound Brown Deer to downtown. Your only little delay, that'll be about a 3-minute delay due to the construction, the ongoing construction there. Normally about an 11-minute ride. Going to run you 14 this afternoon. Otherwise, enjoy it. Standard travel times across the system. Cloudy skies today, windy with a high of 51. Mostly clear tonight and a low of 25. Wednesday, mostly sunny, breezy and chilly with a high of 36. We hang out in the mid-30s the rest of the week with snow coming on Friday. Could be wet and heavy. Details on the timing of that event throughout the day and tomorrow here on WTMJ. It's currently 46 degrees in Madison, 47 in Green Bay, 46 in Waukesha, and 45 at the Avenue. I'm Greg Matzik. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Toscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get $1,000 off your Luckstone shower and pay nothing until 2025. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Kohler Services and CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Doesn't it seem like you never have anything to wear? That's why I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Whether it's a designer top, jeans, an adorable skirt, or cute accessories, I always seem to find something I like. And at prices I love. Gently used women's clothing and accessories for far less than you thought possible. At St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Vince Vitrano for Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical, joined by Nicole, who along with her husband Brent owns the company. Nicole, why is now a good time to have you out looking at my air conditioner?
Because we want you to get to know us before you have an HVAC or electrical emergency. We will provide maintenance to your AC system so it's ready to operate efficiently on those warm spring days and hot summer nights.
And they are coming. Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical, 262-664-9284, AbsoluteComfortWI.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry. He is Brian Noonan.
Yes. You were not familiar with the Iditarod.
I wasn't. I mean, I know what dog sledding is, but I have not the same fascination with it as you do.
I don't know why I'm fascinated with it, other than I'm fascinated by Alaska. I think this race is unbelievable. I can't imagine dogs pulling a human for 1,000 miles. And just like any competitive sport, car racing or horse racing, it's very expensive for these mushers, not only to train their dog athletes, but to compete in this race. And so they have sponsors. And for a racer from Seward, Alaska, to have major sponsors from Neenah, Wisconsin, struck me as a little unusual. So James Keller is here, and James has been sponsoring Dallas Seavey, who this year won his 6th Iditarod, putting him in the echelon of greatest mushers of all times. James, welcome to the show. Thanks for taking some time today.
Yeah, thank you. Good to be here. My wife's also in my office, so.
Your wife, Roseanne. All right, the first question, the obvious one. You got James and Roseanne, you're in Neenah. You run J.J. Keller and Associates. How do you end up sponsoring a musher and his team for the Iditarod?
Sure. That question's been asked 5,000 times, but it is the proper one. In 2006, for our 30th anniversary, we took an Alaskan cruise. Roseanne booked a CV sled dog experience tour up in Seward. So we were on the last day of the cruise in Seward, the last sled dog tour of the year, September 15th. Dallas Seavey happened to pick us up from his dad's and his grandpa's camp. He was 18 years old, talked a mile a minute. We said, Roseanne commented, geez, look how strong he looks. And then I said, I think he's an athlete. One of his ears was a little battered, like a wrestler. So we did the 1-hour tour in the pouring rain in Seward. We didn't know Seward was a rainforest, but it is. We got all done. We went to the little gift shop they had. Dallas followed us in, took the raincoats off, met his mother, Janine. And I said, tell me about Dallas. This kid's unique. She said, well, he's one of 4 boys, and he doesn't have to do as many chores in the dog yard as the other 3 because he's a wrestler, and he's the only national wrestling champion in the state of Alaska.
He didn't wrestle dogs, did he?
No, he won Greco in the United States, the Greco wrestling meet, which is a big one.
Very cool.
So I said, okay, that tells you strength. That tells us his ears. So I gave Dallas a $50 tip, and I said, son, J.J. Keller's in transportation publishing, and I'd like to talk about starting an Iditarod sled dog team with the J.J. Keller Racing. And Dallas Seavey is the musher. So I gave him a $50 tip. He called me in 2 weeks. Roseanne, he said, you remember me as the Dallas Seavey? I said, I'm still thawing out. And Roseanne got a yellow notebook pad, and the journey began right there.
So, James, what does a sponsorship of a musher look like? I'm imagining that is the sled covered in your logo, like similar to a NASCAR?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
If you go out there, the dog coats have J.J. Keller dog coats. He's got J.J. Keller on his truck. He's got J.J. Keller on all his clothes, all 5 layers.
Nice.
On his stocking hat. His daughter told us 2 years ago that she said, Mr. Keller, how do we get so lucky having you and Mrs. Keller as our sponsor? He said, I've seen that J.J. Killer logo so much. He says, I know the thread count.
All right, now,
that was his 12-year-old daughter.
when you first started sponsoring Dallas, he didn't do very well the first year. What was his journey from 41st place, the first year you sponsored him, to winning 6 Iditarods and becoming one of the best mushers in history?
Well, I'll tell you, when we didn't even know this, but in 2007, our first race, I mean, we did this whole thing over the phone. Last year to Wisconsin. We showed up in 2007, and Dallas had coats and hats and bandanas and dog coats, and I mean, he was logoed up.
We were all ready for him to win the race.
And we didn't know he had no chance of winning. He took 41st, and he had his dog's puppy team, and we didn't have a clue, but we learned.
Okay.
Well, then the next year, he came in 8th or 9th, and he said, I got to meet you guys, because Aaron, we were up in Nome at the finish. Aaron Burmeister was like the 8th place. I think Dallas was 7th, Burmeister was 8th. And he said, Aaron is selling his team, and I don't have any money, but I know who does, and we need to buy that team. So Roseanne goes, are you going to do that? I said, I don't think we have a choice.
No, he's got the hat and coach. You got to buy it now.
Yeah, so we helped him with the team, and then the next year he came in 4th or 5th. Then in 12, the goal was to win. While he was 25, to be the youngest musher to ever win. Now he had a better team, more training, more this, more that. So he won in 12, and off we go. Now he's the youngest musher to ever start the race, youngest musher to ever finish the race, and now the youngest musher at age 25 to ever win the race. Now we're off to the races, literally.
Literally off to the races.
That is amazing.
So for those of us who've never experienced as a spectator watching an Iditarod, it's hard enough to watch someone run a marathon because you're like, oh, where do I post up to be able to cheer them on? How do you do it for a 1,000-mile race and cheer on the musher you're sponsored?
Okay. Well, we used to go up to the start, and then we'd go home, come back, go up to the finish. And that's the 13,000 miles of plane ride. So after a few of those trips, we said, well, we better rethink this. So then we started going up to Nome, meeting them there. We fly in Sunday night. We get there Monday. They usually come in Tuesday or Wednesday. And then we stay through Thursday. We come home Thursday night. So how do you follow the race? Well, we go online. We have a subscription to the Iditarod Insider, and the sleds didn't then, but they have GPSs now.
Okay.
You can actually follow them online.
Anybody can. You just go to Iditarod.com, and they have the Insider, and you just sign up for it, and then you can follow the GPS and the tracking and all of that while you're waiting to go up for the finish.
Well, James and Roseanne, unfortunately, time is tight. We got to get to a Brewers game, but this is a fascinating story. Congratulations on all Dallas's success, and it doesn't sound like he would have that success without you guys. So an unlikely pairing, a couple from Neenah, Wisconsin, and a musher from Seward, Alaska, and, man, you guys have really cemented your place in Iditarod history. Congratulations.
And he's won 12, he's won 14, 15, 16, 21, and now 24. He is the greatest Iditarod musher in history, and he's only 37. And we got a real great partnership, and we are so proud of him and so proud of being the world's greatest mushing team that it's hard to even think about. It's mind-blowing when you think about it.
Thank you so much, James Keller, Roseanne Keller. News Time 2:45. This is Spanning the State on WTMJ.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods has a great reputation for producing custom team apparel. We're total team outfitters, and we can handle the biggest jobs. Our success in custom team apparel led us into group and corporate apparel. Plus, we have a full selection of promotional products for employee gifts, special events, you name it. And we've made it easy for our customers to firm up their orders. The group sale web stores that we build for our customers are a simple way of gathering all the information you need. They're easy to work, easy to understand, and with them you'll have access to nearly limitless options. We've seen that most times we're better priced than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer. Plus Nike and Under Armour choices that the other guys can't get. And we offer a huge brand selection from Yeti, North Face, and Carhartt, too. This is Brian Burkhart. For team, group, or corporate custom outfitting and promotional products, it's going to be really hard to beat our prices, selection, and ease of buying for any size budget and every size company. And that's why we always say, you can't beat Burkhart. New Berlin and Fox Point.
I'm going to say it again. Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. And what that means is wherever we go, we make it better for those in need of our services and the great people we have working with us. Our reputation matters. Over the years, we've cut our losses with a handful of people that just didn't live our values as much as we'd like. And a lot of them, if not all of them, still work in the industry today. I say this because I want you to know when you work with Semper Fi, character counts. It's why you can count on the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty that now includes free annual inspections. And it's why we always have one project manager per job, which is absolutely not the industry standard. When you're paying for a brand new roof to go on what's likely the biggest investment you have, you want it done right, and you want to be able to count on the people doing it. This is Brad Youngworth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Flooring, carpeting, bath, or kitchen remodeling. Adair is the name Milwaukee has trusted for 65 years. This is Rob Adair. Ready to remodel? Give us a call, 761-3660. Get personal care from Adair, South 27th in Franklin.
Hey, boaters!
From fishing to water sports and everyday essentials like anchors and life jackets, along with an incredible selection of hardware, Kendall Marine is a boater's paradise. This is Dave Doro, and our endless selection of boating parts and accessories all but assure you one-stop shopping for all your boating needs. And that's why boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendall Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendall Marine. We got everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters!
This is Dave Doro from Kendall Marine. And if you're a boater and you haven't been here, ask around. And I think some of your boater buddies will tell you you're missing out. Because at Kendall Marine, we have everything you need but the water. And when you get here, you'll know that's no exaggeration. So get in the know, because boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendall Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendall Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. In the last couple minutes before we have to hand it over to the Brewers, Brian Noonan just flew by.
It's been fun, as it always is with you, Kristen. So we'll do it all again tomorrow.
We got Sarah Godlewski in here tomorrow, State Secretary of State.
Yes, to tell us what is it?
That's
what
what she's going to tell us what it is.
Actually do.
Well, it was Doug LaFollette for literally decades.
Yes,
and he did not. The joke was always that he does not do a lot because a lot of the powers of that position had been stripped away over the years. And then he stepped down. Sarah Godlewski got appointed, and